speedometer set at 72 when you hit a hill. And this is just a little hill. This is not a mountain. Put off the gas. Cruise control on. Set you back to about 64. Cruise is set on 71, 72. Kicked out right there, 72. There's 74. And we're on flats. That's almost flat. A little bit of a downhill grade. Jumped all the way to 75. So going to 77 when you're climbing hills, and these ain't hills. These are just grades, small inclines. So next deal I'll show a hill if I got one. You know, I'm not going to step on the brake every time you go down there past 75 miles an hour. I'm going to let this thing roll free and get the fuel mileage it should. Step on the brake, reset the cruise. You know, reset the cruise. Use your gas, use your brake, reset the cruise. Not going to do that. That doesn't average fuel mileage for you. That doesn't help me. That just works the truck even harder. So here we are again going down a hill. You can see there's a bottom down in there. We're set at about 72. 71, somewhere in there. We're gonna hit this anchor incline, which this thing is pulling better, but it's not a pulling truck. It's never been a pulling truck. Too small of a motor for this type of a truck. But anyway, we just do what we do. But so there's your speedometer hitting this little grade. Hitting this little grade, coming up to the top of it. We're all the way down to 55. So you want to know why that in these hills I push 75, 77 miles an hour? Because if you ain't done 75 or 77, time you get to the top, look, there's 50 miles an hour. And if I don't, you know, if I have to pull it back out of gear and gas on it, see, I'm sitting here, just sitting here, no grade, no nothing. There's no grade there. You're on flats trying to pick up speed. We've been here 3 or 4 seconds now, 5 seconds, you know, 8 seconds, whatever. And say, if I was doing 75, 77, I'd already be over there where that other truck is at the top of the hill. So, you know, if you're wondering why that, you know, I allow the truck to go up to 77, 78, 80, whatever, you know, I'm watching for police like anybody else, blah, 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 whatever. But the speed limit 70 miles an hour to 75, depending on where you're at, usually in these type of hills. But say, look, we're still sitting there, 54 miles an hour, pulling this hill. If I was running 75, 77 miles an hour, we'd already be over this hill and gone. So if you're wondering why that my truck, you see it on there, is doing 77, well, you know, if I'm in Texas doing 77, well, we know what we're doing. In other words, we're walking the dog. But if I'm in the hills over here, all that, look, you know, we're just barely back up to 60. Climbing, starting to climb now. So, I'm not saying that all trucks don't take a minute to recoup. This one's very slow. So, I compensate by, whenever I'm getting almost to the bottom of a hill, I compensate by mashing it down, jumping to my 75, and letting it roll over that 77, whatever it goes to. And then I start climbing the other side, it drops back down, you know, so on and so on. See, cruise is still set. Got a little bit of speed down that hill, so it did go up to about 73. But kicking back in now, 71, 72 miles an hour. So you can actually have the cruise on at 71, 72 and jump to 77 to 80 miles an hour. So anyway, if you see that on there, please take and compensate whether I'm in the hills or not. I am not going to jab my brakes on, you know, reset the cruise over and over and over. You got about 80 or 90 miles of hills through here that actually screw with you all the way through here. And if you set this thing at 68 or 70, you're not going nowhere. You're going to be changing gears, dropping a 9th gear on top of every hill, bogging it to the floor, burning fuel. So, and I've done proved that on miles per gallon, everything else. So anyway, if you see 77, 79 miles an hour, you know what I'm doing. You know, and you can have a truck sitting at 72 or 102. And still, if you got it on cruise at 72 miles an hour or 70, yeah, on the bottom of a hill, you can run right on up to 80 miles an hour pretty easy. So just saying, you know, I'm not really worried about someone catching me running 77 miles an hour. And if they got a problem with that, hey, let me know. No problem to me. I can turn it back. But it's going to cost you. It's not going to cost me.